Now, we're basically expanding off of what we did yesterday. So yesterday we were figuring out greatest common factor, and now today we're kind of just like showing how to use it. Okay, let's just put 3x plus 9. Oh, what the heck? Tap on the marker, I guess. Down, the one below the highlighted pointer. See the one that's blue? Below it. Yes. Plus 9. Perfect. Okay, so now the only difference between this and yesterday is that there'll be plus and minus signs at the beginning. That's the only difference. So we're kind of looking at those as two separate things. Is there any numbers that go into 3 and 9? 3, okay? So we're going to write down the 3 underneath it. And actually, oh, go ahead. And I'm gonna move this to give you some space for what we do in a second. Do they have any letters in common? That was the next thing we looked for yesterday. No, because the second one doesn't even have a letter. Okay, so 3 is going to be our greatest common factor. Now what we're going to do is we're going to write a parentheses next to the 3. Basically, you're going to write a set of parentheses that's empty. We're going to write something in there. Yeah, perfect. So continuing from what we did yesterday, we'll write it this way instead of what we did yesterday. Now, the greatest common factor that we found, we're going to divide each of the things above it by it. So underneath the 3x, write a fraction bar and a 3. Does that make sense? So over 3. Yeah. And then underneath the 9, the same thing. So what, I don't know, the smartboard's weird, just, yeah. Whatever you found as the greatest common factor, we're going to divide by it. Okay, what's the easiest way for me to say this? What do we get if we divide 3x by 3? Yeah, okay, so the answer you got for the first one, right at the beginning of the parentheses. I think it's because you're holding the marker kind of tilted, so straight on, yeah. I don't know, that's my only guess. Okay, now the 9 divided by the 3? 3, so you write that in the second spot. Yeah, plus 3, perfect. Excellent job. And then that's, the bottom thing is going to be called factored. Done. I guess yours was a little harder than I was expecting because we haven't done this before, but at least the info was nice and easy. Very nice job. I was going to give you a mint, but I don't see any. What would I do? I got to figure out where I put them. They could be. I don't know why I'd put them in there though. Okay, if you guys need something on your the answer you got from the first one is going to be the first spot in the parentheses. The answer you got from the second one goes in the second spot in the parentheses. And then whatever sign was here goes there. I don't know if you need that or not, but that's exactly what we did. And then the item in the front is the greatest common factor. That's what we're going to be trying to do today. Does this seem okay? I don't know if it's confusing the way it's written. Okay, who's next? 19. Oh dear. What betrayal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say you rolled your desk mate, but you really didn't because you're not there. So it's not betrayal. Okay, 5x squared. I don't know. We'll just pretend, we'll pretend you know how to write a 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just tired.
5x squared minus 10x. So this is very similar to the last one, but our greatest common factor is going to be a little bit more stuff. Okay? Do you want some guidance? Do you want, I don't know what.
I think I can figure it out.
Okay. Right idea, but I'll pause you before you write too much. So you definitely put the x because they both had an x, I'm guessing? Okay. Now when we're looking at the numbers, 5 goes into both of them.
Right.
So in the front, you're going to write 5x.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, duh.
Now you did it 100% perfect, but you also did it in your head. I'm going to guess some people in here don't know where you got the answer from.
Right.
So underneath 5x squared, could you write 5x, like divided by 5x? Yeah. And then under, yep. Perfect. No, that was excellent, and that answer is completely correct. Over the years, I've noticed some students absolutely need to write this down to be able to do it. Some students like to do the division in their head. It's just everybody's different, right? Are you guys okay knowing why 5x is the greatest common factor? You seemed pretty good at that yesterday. Okay. And then we're essentially always going to divide by what the greatest common factor was, and then write the answer in the parentheses. Are we ready for harder ones? Okay. I wanted to start with these easy ones because I want you to know that they're definitely not all going to be difficult. Okay, so now we'll get to the actual packet. Let me zoom in. Okay. 32. Every day. Okay, Callum, here's what I want you to do. I just want you to figure out the greatest common factor, and then I'm going to have the second person fill in the parentheses. Okay, let's figure out what goes into both of them first. So we've got 30 and 56. Now, the numbers are a little bit bigger, so it's a little bit harder to know what goes into both of them. So if you need to do the factor tree first, like scratch work somewhere, you can do that. That's what we did yesterday. Is that how you did it yesterday, possibly? Okay. So maybe on the right-hand side, figure out the factor tree for 30 and 56. Yeah. Nope, that's correct. Were you trying to ask if that was remembering it right from yesterday? Yep. Okay, so now 56, because we can erase this when we're done, so it doesn't matter how big you write. Two and two. So the 4, yeah, the 4. Oh, you're saying the final answer is just 2. Yeah. Okay, so if we want to erase this, we can. But 2 is actually the biggest number they have in common. Oh, wow, that's tiny. Okay, do it again. See if it gives you the big eraser. Nope. Okay, underneath that problem, you're going to write the 2. Sure? And then now what letters do they have in common? Like how many, that kind of thing. 1A. Yep. And then how many B's do they have in common? 1. Perfect. And then you're going to write a parentheses, and then the next person can fill it in. Yeah. Well, we'll erase the second one because I don't know how much space it's going to take, but yeah, good. Oh, what? Oh, come on. 20. That's Adrian. Adrian, do you kind of know where to go from here? Okay. So underneath both of these things up on top, we're going to write divided by 2ab. It's almost like this is two separate problems. The first problem is figuring out the greatest common factor. The second problem is like dividing by it. So over 2ab on each thing up there. No, up on top. Yeah. Yep, perfect. And then whatever we get is the answer, we're going to write in that parentheses. So do you want help with the dividing? So in my head, I usually do 30 divided by 2 first. 15, so you'll write 15 in the parentheses. I mean, there's nothing wrong with writing it where you were. Now we have a squared divided by a, just a. So you're basically taking 1 away. And then b divided by b goes away. It'd be like b0. Okay, now plus. Okay, 56 divided by 2, 28, I think. Sounds right. You guys can blame me if it's wrong. Okay, a divided by a cancels, gone. B cubed divided by b, how many b's would be left? 2. Good, b squared. And then that parentheses, because that's the answer you got by dividing. Perfect. So after doing this for a while, a lot of people get used to it and kind of start doing it in their head. Like, you don't get, basically what happens is you're not going to be so confused because it doesn't appear so like daunting. And then you know in your head to immediately do 30 divided by 2. A2, take away 1a. B, take away 1b. 56 divided, like you learn how to do the steps in your head so you don't have to write as much. But you are free to write whatever you want. That's why there's a lot of space in the packet. Is this one okay? Does somebody want me to explain where some of the answer came from? You guys bring me so much joy first hour with all the collaboration and you know, humor and all the jokes you make. And first hour becomes so fun. You guys need to drink more coffee or something. I don't know what you need, but you guys need to learn how to wake up before you get to school. What are you going to do when you have a job? You can't do that, though. You can't do that same thing and be like, ugh, it's morning. They'll fire you. They want work done. Okay, who is next? 38, we're going to hope it's somebody who's awake. Serena, who's wide awake. Do you want me to go to the right or down?
I don't care.
Okay, me either. Let's go to that. Oh, wow. You should have said to the right. Okay, I can help guide you in any part you want guidance with. Otherwise, you're welcome to kind of just take over.
2 is the greatest common factor, right?
2?
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah, because 4 doesn't go into 30.
So can I just skip all the parts?
Oh, absolutely. If you know what the biggest number that goes into them, you can absolutely skip the tree. Now you got ahead of yourself a little bit. Yeah, you're doing. I was going to say you were just using like a finger there. Okay, now letters. Yep. Mm-hmm. Perfect. 28, yeah. Nice. I mean, honestly, this This is probably about as difficult as you'll run into. The fact that it's got multiple letters, 3 things, that's about all you can be thrown at. How are we feeling about this particular problem? Is this one you guys feel like you could have done on your own anyway? Then I'm going to stop here. And because I don't feel like we need to fill out the entire packet. That would be just kind of like doing a lot of extra work just to get to our work. Now I'm going to leave that up on the board, and we're not necessarily going to do the whole worksheet today. Oh, before we forget though, we need to find the person that's going to tell me I don't know.